14 months. How did that feel?
Woo!
Hey, you got that out of the way.
You got it out of the way.
It all gets easier from here, man.
A little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. I am what I want you to want, what I want you to feel.
So you're dead?
Yeah.
Just checking in?
Yeah. I don't know, he's probably stressing more than me. He's like, yeah, first thing, did you crash? Did you crash?
That's all he asked?
That's all I asked. Did you crash? No, I didn't crash. Alright, good.
So if you didn't, then he's like, alright, cool, everything's fine.
Yeah, no, if I didn't crash, so he's like, yeah, you're good. But if I crash, then that's like, calling him is like probably the most stressful thing. He's like, am I calling him because I ate calling him because it went good? It only goes two different ways.
There's no like just small talk with your dad?
No, it's just race.
That's it.
Yeah, lived with my whole life and talking about like
yeah.
Even though we're just looking for feel good, I really want to pay attention to feeling good on the entrance of the whoops, because we are probably going to be a very similar entrance, but only 9 whoops. So let's keep building some comfort, stay on point, make sure our technique's well, so let's just be playful, have fun.
Really good off here. We could pick up maybe just a little bit in there. If you stay forward, if your head stays forward off the grate, then we can build through here. If we rock back here, then we're going to lose out there.
Nice to actually have my race bike broken in, ridden all the parts on it, and everything set up exactly how my practice bike is, so it feels no different. So I'll be able to go to the race, feel 100% comfortable right off the bat. And it just, yeah, that takes a lot of stress. It just gives you a lot of confidence in your bike, because when stuff's new, sometimes it does different things. So it's nice just to know that the bike's going to do exactly what I want it to, and I know what it's going to do when I hit certain jumps or bumps or whoops or whatever. So just confident, just stay connected, and yeah, it's nice to have that with this team. They do that really well. The main thing too is like every year you go racing, there's always, you have a little crash. There's something that you go into the race where it's never 100%. It's not, well, obviously, you know, with my injury, it's different. I'm riding a different way now with the handbrake or whatever, but it's nice going into the race. My body is as good as we've gotten it over the off season. I'm as strong as I've been, so yeah, I don't know, it should be good. I mean, I don't really see, I feel more confident this year than I did last year, just off of how I feel riding on the bike and stuff, so we'll see. It's stacked coast, so everyone else is going to be stressing. I think I can just go to the race and kind of ride myself. So kind of learned that over the years too. When you ride nervous, it just does no good for anybody, for yourself. You make it harder on yourself. And yeah, when you go to the race and you just feel confident and comfortable, like, it's so easy. So that's my goal. And everyone else will be stressing about everyone else. I don't care really where I get. I'm going to do something that no one's ever done before, so that's something that I can take to the line. It's like, I've got confidence, you know, if I can overachieve riding with the handbrake and what I've learned over the off season, just like racing is not that hard compared to what I've already done, so should be fun, should be good.
East Coast, round 1, Tampa. Feels hot, but it's not hot. It just feels hot.
It feels hot.
Cold. Whopping 80
My cells
degrees.
are so used to the freezing cold.
Yeah. The veins are resurfacing to the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy sand section, tight track. It's gonna be really tight, but it looks good. Technical, tight technical, and I think the sand section is gonna be the anomaly. We have a sand corner after the finish, and then we have a rhythm section built out of sand. and it's like a beach sand. So that's going to be the trick of the night. Whoops, look good. A little peakier than normal, I would say, but good for us.
After the finish,
And
so
yeah,
fine.
Mark
It's
and
really
Max. See how it goes.
How many people ask the question?
Every single one.
Every single one.
Every single one.
It was like every interview based around it too.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just handbrake. It's something
You're like,
different.
just talk to me about something else.
Yeah, like, you know, how big a whip you throwing off the finish line or something. I don't know.
Are you gonna throw a whip?
I don't know. We got a Supercross triple on the try. It's been a while. I could probably still whip. I think I got the talent for it.
All right. I'll keep an eye out.
Sucks when we only get half the track though. It just gets repetitive, but
Can't make it too unfair, right? Press day is such an advantage though. Well, it is and it isn't. It's like when we come out there tomorrow, it'll be completely different. Like
only a handful of guys on the track, and then it already got pretty rough.
I know they're from last weekend if they were our cans because you grabbed our cans earlier, so I'm like, yeah, you're good, bro. How we doing, Parker? Good? Yeah. All right, yeah.
First race day.
First one, baby.
How you feel?
Feel good. Nowhere else I'd rather be.
Well,
Tell them the truth. Wake up before your alarm.
I did wake up before my alarm.
Did you really?
I was a bit excited. Yeah.
were you really?
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm excited, yeah. I think the reality of it is, you know, from the outside looking in, it's always, especially YouTube gang, right? It's like they only see one side of it. Rob can only catch a glimpse of it, but the reality is, for sure, I'm excited, I'm nervous, a little anxiety, but as these seasons have progressed, it's the difficult position for us is sometimes you find yourself in this little rat chase of like, we've been a 4th or 5th place team for years now, and you find yourself wondering like, when are we ever going to take that next step, and who are we going to do it with? And then when you get in moments like that, you start feeling the anxiety, and it's the same with the riders, right? So I have to preach to them the way I would handle it. So then oftentimes I got to check myself. Max is riding good, Mark's riding good. Max is a guy we feel like is a championship level guy. And I had to check myself and be like, you know what, I got to practice what I preach. And that's really just finding the gratitude in the moment. And I am grateful to even have the opportunity to say, hey, potentially we could win a race, we could be on the box. I want these guys to kind of feed into my style of that too, because I am that kind of guy that I really don't give a shit. I don't care about failure or doing bad or looking bad. It's never really been my thing. But you get tested, we all do, so it's easy for people to look at me and say, oh, he's got it all figured out. I don't have it figured out. I get tested just like everybody else gets tested. I get stressed like everybody else gets stressed. You just have to find the times to reset, refocus, and last night was one of those times. I do think Max can win races, and I think he's a championship level guy. I think Mark's got a phenomenal talent. It's exciting to get to go racing with new guys, but to see where we can go with Max and also potentially where he can take us is an opportunity I'm grateful for, regardless of results come tonight. And I got to trust that process and, you know, kind of buy into it. And I am. So I think for everybody watching on YouTube, it's cool you guys get to see the stories of what goes into this, but the staffing side, you know, this is a grind. It's a 7-day-a-week job. It's a sacrifice away from family. It's a financial sacrifice and burden, and it's going to force you down that wrong path that you got to constantly recheck yourself. So I'm pumped for the group of guys, staff-wise. All of our partners, FXR, muc-off, First Form, Yamaha, like they've given us this platform, and it's up to us to figure out a way to capitalize on it. So that's the task at hand, and as long as we try our off, whatever it is, it is.
I definitely don't miss the way my stomach feels on race day, though.
That's a privilege to feel that way.
Yeah, that stomach just always feels upside down all day.
I know you had said like you were just ready to be at the races. Is it one of those things where now that you're here, you just feel you're like, all right, cool, like I just gotta settle in? And
yeah, well, I mean, when I was practicing, you know, you practice so much, and yeah, you finally want to do something different. But then, you know, always at the first round too, it's like, dude, I've been stressing so bad, just low key, and it's like, yeah, I forgot. I feel like I've stressed more about this race when I have. It's just really expecting myself to do good, but I had the least pressure I've ever had, and I'm on a great team, great bike. It's like I really have nothing to worry about, but your body just can't help itself. It has to stress and worry about it. So I feel like it's been more than usual for me, but the riding's been my best, so maybe more stress, more pressure makes it better for me. So bring it for next qualifying session. Just ride the day as it goes.
What's going to happen with Mark, Kyle?
Crashed in Q1 and had him go back out for Q2 and see what he can do.
Struggling the whoops a little bit with skimming. Yeah, they're just slick and sketchy, but towards the end I got the jump line pretty good, and even the last lap I wheel capped over 2, which I don't think anyone did, so now I have that in my pocket. And then yeah, I ripped the sand a few times, like basically tripled in. That was sick, but honestly I felt like I could race at that speed. Wherever I got my lap time, like I could race that, which is good, you know. Didn't feel like it was that hard to do that lap, so I'm always a better racer than I am practicer.
What was it like thinking that you might not ride again after your injury versus when you realized you could get back to that?
It was a tough road through my injury and everything, and it was hard to even think about riding when I was sitting in a bed for 3 months not moving at all. And then once I finally get moving, I was hitting PT every week, and it was just a tough transition really, and there's always a little bit of hope. I was always hopeful, and the closer we got back to once I finally got back on the bike, and even when I signed my deal, it was still like I probably shouldn't have signed it then. I should have waited, but I still had so much hope that eventually it'd get better because it was still so early when I did sign my deal with Club. So yeah, I was a little bit scared before I came here, and I just was getting back on the bike for a few weeks, and still, even with riding, we were trying a bunch of different brake systems and just maybe try the normal brake and tried different boots to see if I could get more feeling in my foot, and it was just, nothing was really working how I felt like, okay, I could race professionally. I felt like I could have went racing, but not safely, and it's like, I don't want to go out there and hurt myself again and maybe have an injury worse than what I have now. And it was crazy. I was coming down to the last day before I had to come back here for boot camp, and I was like, dude, I can't do it. Like, there's no way. I'm gonna have to tell them that I can't race, or like, it's over. I'm sorry, guys. I gave it my best shot, but we found something with the brake and the bike on the very last day of riding, just kind of like a Hail Mary, like, okay, well, it's our last thing. Let's try it. And then it ended up, I was like, okay, wow, I could actually race like this. I can actually get the job done if I need to, safely and sound. So I was like, it was crazy. It went from 50% hope in the beginning to where it was like right at the end before I was pretty much ready to be done, I was like 5% hope, like, oh, it's done. I was pretty sure it was over. So it was a fast change, because then I flew out here and went straight into boot camp and was straight into doing motos when I was just barely doing a few laps at home. So it was a huge, you know, cardio load and just load on my body too, with my foot and everything when I got here. And yeah, it was a crazy transition to come from being pretty much done to like, okay, I can do it, and then now where I'm like, oh my God, you know, I'm maybe better than I've ever been.
The hard part's how I go ride 15 minutes, have fun. And whatever it is, you're going to build off it. The best you got's the best you got. And the best you got is good. Don't sell yourself short either. So I'm not telling you to be complacent, but whatever it is, technical riding, playful, adapt, let your instincts do their job. Whatever it is, we're building.
We were in 9th, so we didn't have...
You went up to 9th quick, and then you had an opportunity right there. And then it kind of just sat, and then them guys come. You got to keep racing forward in those situations. Just, I know it's challenging, but you got to keep pressing forward.
I had no idea where I was.
Keep pressing forward.
Keep going forward. Doesn't matter where you are. If you're in 7th, you go forward.
Outside the box or all the way inside, I think.
Yeah, honestly, personally, I think you're better off just outside the box.
Yeah.
But there's about 4 good gates on the inside, like real good ones with good ruts, and then on the outside there's 3 on the other side of the box. So I think you're going to end up around there somewhere. Yeah. Have a good look, man. Yeah, leave it up to you. You've got me helping.
Well, man, we love having you here. Slide out over, get some pictures out of the trophy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, because they are our very special VIPs, you can check out these programs today.
What got you through it? Like, what was it? That something mentally, or what made you be like, I have to do this?
Well, it's like it's hard to give up on something that you've been doing your whole life. You know, I pretty much grew up racing bicycles and dirt bikes, and you know, my whole family. I'm like a 4th generation dirt bike racer, so it's kind of just in my blood. And I was like, man, I can't quit now. You know, I got to give it a good shot. And I was like, I don't know, I couldn't even think about quitting, because then I'm like, what am I going to do with my life if I don't race and ride? Like, what would I do? I don't know. So I'm like, I have no choice. I'm just going to go for it. I was relaxed going into the main, but not like...
Yeah, but the main was kind of coming to you, because actually the jump was working pretty good through the woods.
Yeah, not bad.
And you're so fast in the sand.
Yeah, I was
really in the sand.
Yeah,
really fast in the sand.
I don't know how those guys struggled so bad with it. It was so easy for me just to drop. So yeah, had the sand dialed, and then yeah, I was getting a 3.34 in the whoops, basically almost. I could have done that all main. I
could have went all the way to the finish. And I knew, like, obviously if there wasn't a red flag.
Well, if the red flag would have put you right on those guys.
Yeah, I would have been right on them too as well. So.
It is what it is. We're learning.
Have a safe drive.
Yes, sir. We'll do.